Reading for 24 hours kind of sounds like a good idea, but why do I have a feeling I might regret it? Hi, hello, my name's Hannah and welcome back to my channel. We're doing a 24-hour readathon. That's what's happening because firstly, I need to catch up with my monthly TBR because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books here that I put on my TBR and I haven't read yet, and there's 10 days left in the month, so that's pretty ambitious, but not if I read for 24 hours. It's going to change the game. So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is my social battery is beyond dead. It's like when your phone is so dead that you need to charge it for like an hour before it even thinks about turning on. That's where I'm at. So I really just want to sort of like switch off from the world and focus on books and get silly and goofy in lots and lots of different worlds. That's the plan. So I have my coffee and it's decaf. I definitely should have made a caffeinated coffee. Anyway, we're going to jump in. Before we start though, let me show you what is on my TBR so you have an idea about what we might read. Quick fire, we have one thriller, which is Richard Osman, The Thursday Murder Club. We have The Crimson Moth by Kristen Ciccarelli. First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. A Funny Story by Emily Henry. Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, which I'm going to be so real, if I read this in this video, I will pay every viewer £100. It's not happening. And then finally we have Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V. Schwab. I am also currently reading What Happens in Amsterdam by Rachel Lynn Solomon, and I'm going to be finishing this, hopefully, first. That's my plan. This is 360 pages long and I'm 120 pages in. And can we just, it's so like wonderfully floppy. Wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous. Anyway, get yourself a little cozy drink and we're just going to start reading because I need to switch off from the world and we're going to do it together. Let's go. This book. Oh my god, this book. What Happens in Amsterdam, let me tell you about it. We have our main character, Danica. Danny. She, when she was younger, was very fortunate to have an Amsterdam exchange student come to live with her and her family. Amsterdam exchange student. You know what I'm saying. He's Dutch. They were 17 at the time. He might have been, yeah, I think they were both 17. They obviously fell in love as 17-year-olds, and we are now 14 years later, and Danny's having a little bit of a crisis in her life, and she decides, do you know what, I'm moving to Amsterdam. So that's what she does. And then it just so happens that her and her little Dutch ex have this fun meet cute. A little bit of a tragic one, actually. Things just sort of go from there. We end up having some forced proximity and a marriage of convenience, which I believe it does say on the back. Yes, it does. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. But I've actually just picked up this. I've come to talk to you because I think I have just read one of the sexiest things I have literally ever seen with my own eyes. I actually can't believe how crazy that was. We had about 11 pages of the wildest smut I have ever read, and it was so unconventional. It was not a sex scene. It was crazy, and I just can't believe I've read it. Yeah, wow, that will stay with me. In terms of like how I'm feeling about this book so far, I'm not really sure. It's hard because my previous read before I picked this up was also a romance and it was a 5-star, but it was very different to this. Do you know when like writing styles feel like they're just the complete opposite? That's kind of the experience that I'm having. So I've kind of had to adjust to this in comparison to the romance that I've previously read. And yeah, it's taken me a little bit of time. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I'm now 190 pages in, so we probably have about 250 pages. No. 150 pages left and I want to smash it out. I want to do it. I definitely want to start a new book tonight before I go to sleep because I will be going to sleep, by the way. I will try to stay up as late as I possibly can, but I will definitely have to go to sleep. So anyway, I'm going. See ya. Hey, I finished the book. I don't know if I can put you down because you might just fall. I finished the book. What Happens in Amsterdam, and I loved it. I'm so glad I loved it as well. So I've literally just got back from Amsterdam. I got back like 48 hours ago. I loved it. I had the best time. And when I bought this book in the airport, because it felt like I had to, like, how could I not? I had to. When I bought it, I was like, oh, it'll be such a shame if I don't enjoy it, because it just feels like the perfect read. And it did take me a little bit of a while to get into. And I know that some people feel like the 5-star feeling has to be quite immediate, like that it has to start really early on in the book. But I think that I have just read this at the perfect time. And with me loving Amsterdam for what it was, without a huge sort of like tourist perspective, and just enjoying the culture and the vibes and the beauty of it, I just think that this book was perfect for me to read right now. And yeah, I really did absolutely love it. So the next question is, what am I reading next? We have a lot of time left. We have over 20 hours left, actually. My thoughts right now are that I could probably stomach a fantasy, and it might be the only fantasy that I can stomach, because these readathons are hard. If you've never done one, let me tell you that unless you're Emmy and you just bash them out every like 3 minutes, it is a very, very difficult task. I'm thinking, I want to read The Crimson Moth, but my thoughts are that I think I'm going to want to read Rebel Witch straight away after. So do I just wait? And then I'm looking at my TBR, and I definitely have some books that I could read. Oh, what about Spellbound, actually? No, I want more fantasy than that, actually. Okay, so here's my thoughts. I'm thinking that I might pick up a Kindle read. Is it Servant of the Earth? I've read the blurb of this. It's not too long. I think it's around 450 pages, and that sounds doable. Whereas Bury Our Bones in Midnight Soil sounds not so doable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the first sentence of both of the books, or maybe just the first page, and that's how I'm deciding. Anyway, I need to crack on. And I need to read. If you want to chat, I'm sorry, I'm too busy reading. Hey, good morning. Can you see me? Is my iPad in the way? I think I'm just going to rot, but in like the best way. I'm going to put a hair mask in, I'm going to change my bedding, and I'm going to get so comfy and cosy tonight that I'm going to have the best sleep of my life. To be fair, I slept like a rock last night. Anyway, should we talk about reading? I fell asleep with the timer on last night, which is fine, is what it is. Woke up with 14 hours left on the timer, and I'm alright with that. I have done one of these before, and I like paused it every time I went to sleep, and it went over like 3 days. So probably not doable for me. You know, an actual 24-hour readathon. We cheat the system here. Anyway, you'll see that I've been reading The Crimson Moth by Kristen Ciccarelli. I'm 108 pages in, and I would say that some stories feel like you're kind of like starting in the middle of a story. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there could have been like a whole book before this about the role of witches a decade ago, or however bloody long ago it was, I can't remember. I feel like there's so much backstory here that we're not really exploring, and we're just sort of like diving right in to a specific sort of story about these two main characters, which is fine. But one thing about me is that I love politics and war background. So yeah, I am like having a good time with it. But I'm just thinking like, oh, it would be so fun to have like a prequel to this. Even if I knew how it was going to end, I would love to have a prequel to this. If you're wondering what it's about and you've never heard of it, for my American friends out there, this is Heartless Hunter. This is the UK version, and it's a stunning version if I do say so myself. So we have a witch who has to hide her identity because witches are hunted in this world, in this book. And we have a witch hunter. The witch that we are based on, that we're reading about in this story, is like a socialite by day. Essentially, she's in disguise. Nobody knows that she's a witch, obviously, and she's very popular. She's rich. She's got this whole sort of like society around her. She's rewarded and recognised for turning in her witch grandmother. So she's viewed as this sort of witch hater, which is obviously the absolutely opposite of what she is. And then we have our witch hunter. He is suspicious of our witch, even though he hasn't confirmed and he's not 100% sure if his suspicions are correct. And that's pretty much everything. And it says all that on the blurb. I will not spoil anything for you. Plan is finish this. I need to have something to eat. Plan is finish this. So we've got just under 400 pages, I think. So 300 pages to go. That'll probably take me like 2.5, 3 hours. I'm not a fast reader. After having like the best sleep of my life, I feel like today could go any sort of way in terms of what I want to read, because I have like 50 books to choose from, and I feel like I'll be big mood reading. But I also want to feel accomplished, whether that means reading physical books from my TBR that I've had for a long time, or reading my July TBR. It's just staring at me in the face. I'm not sure. Anyway, off to read. It's me. I literally just got home. I went to post a vintage parcel and then I just had a browse in the works. I'm just a girl in the world. As I pulled up to my house, getting home, my audiobook hours ran out on Spotify. I've also expired my BookBeat hours, so we're locking in. I'm finishing the Crimson Moth right now, right this second. Let's see how much we have left. I think I'm around page 274. I'm gonna finish now, bye. You saw that reaction. I finished this. I finished the Crimson Moth, Heartless Hunter. I finished it. It's interesting, actually. Now that I've read it, and I know that the alternative is Heartless Hunter. Interesting. Obviously never understood it before, but now I get it. And I don't know if I like it or not. Anyway, second book finished, and we have... I don't even know if you can see that. It's 8 hours and 22 minutes left. So, 2 books finished. 2 books finished in, what, 16 hours? But may I remind you, I slept for 9 hours of that. So, I'm not interested in anything that anyone has to say about how slow I read. No one cares, only me, I care. I really don't know what I want to read next. And I'm looking at this stack and thinking, that was very romance heavy. It was kind of like a romance mixed with mystery with a little tint of fantasy. So what do I actually want to read? I have no idea. I think I'm going to read on my Kindle. That's what I want to do right now. I can't get any audiobooks. That's really stressing me out. Like, how do I own this many books but can't get an audiobook on Libby? I could probably get a thriller, but I'm not really in the mood for a thriller. I think I might pick up a thriller last if I manage to finish a book quickly. I'm sure you will see what I pick. I wish you could tell me. I wish you could just tell me what to read. I had a nap. In my defence, I had a banging headache. I'm still not sure whether it's gone or not. But I have a package, so I wish it was a book, but it's not. Wonderful. So I've recently got into using my Beats again. And lots of years ago now, 3 or 4 years ago, I tried to like clean the innards because they were disgusting from all the time I spent in the gym. And I thought, do you know what? They're vile. I need to change them. And I just Googled it this morning and they were like, oh, you can just change them. And I was like, what? You can just freaking change them. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got some brand new ones and I'm going to swap them out so that they're brand new. Look at the colour difference. That's disgusting. And I also got myself a new Kindle case because the one I have is like a cover, which is brilliant because it protects the screen when I travel and when it's in my bag and stuff. But I want to be able to decorate it with stickers like all the cool girlies, and I can't do that with the one I've got. So we also have a clear Kindle case, and that's my package. So it's kind of bookish because this is for audiobooks and brown noise while I'm reading, and this is for my Kindle. Okay, so we're reading. We're reading this. We're reading Spellbound by Georgia Layton, and I'm only 55 pages in, and I think it's fitting what I thought it was going to feel like. I don't know. I'm not really sure if there's going to be any romance. And I kind of assumed that there would be. Not that that was what I was looking for. But at the minute, we've got lots of adults and 2 babies. I'm confused. I'm going to carry on reading now. Because I think my headache has gone, but I physically could not keep reading while my head was pounding. I could probably get another 4 and a bit hours done tonight, and let me check the timer. Let me just check the timer. I've got 7 hours and 39 minutes left on the timer. So if I can do another 4 hours tonight, wake up and do 3 hours tomorrow, that'd be great. You know? Okay, I'm gonna read now. This is it. Now that I'm over 100 pages into Spellbound, this is just the dust jacket, I thought maybe we could talk about what it's about, because I haven't heard anyone else speak about this, and I've only seen it sold in, like, I think it was Asda that I bought it in, but I think I saw it once in Waterstones. But to say it's kind of a new release, it's not been spoke about anywhere, and maybe that's because it's rubbish, or maybe that's just because it's a debut for the author, not sure. So the blurb says, in a remote castle perched atop a windswept island, a long-awaited royal heir is born. In accordance with ancient custom, a blessing ceremony takes place to bestow the princess with magical gifts along with a terrible curse. Except this is not the love story you may think you know. There is no enchanted sleep for the princess and no handsome prince to save the day. Just 3 women who together concoct a desperate plan of misdirect that changes the course of all their lives. But dark magic cannot be tricked, and as the end of the curse edges closer, each of the women has a choice to make. They can wait to find out if the worst will happen, or they can turn to face the coming storm. An atmospheric feminist retelling of a classic fairy tale that asks, what if beauty never went to sleep? Interesting. I love female power and female rage, so, you know, all for it. And I'm going to be so real. The reason why I bought it is because I think that this is stunning. I do. And it has a black sprayed edge. I absolutely love it. Some of the reviews on here say Spellbound weaves together an atmospheric prose with enchanting characters to bring fresh new life to this classic fairy tale. Beautifully written and atmospheric, Spellbound is fresh and manages to take on a classic fairy tale you thought you knew. A perfect blend of fairy tale magic and family drama. A deliciously magic novel and an absolutely delight to read. Style and story equally magnificent. So no romance, which I think, to be honest, with the plot so far, I would have enjoyed maybe maybe even a strong damsel in distress. Could have enjoyed that. But yeah, that's where we're at. This is how far in I am. So quite a way to go. Need to lock in because I want to finish this before I go to sleep tonight. So let's go. Let's go. You can't sleep, baby. Alexa, pause. Hey, good morning. I'm going back to work today. So this is just a brief update. I think I've got like 30 pages left of this, which is really annoying. I would have loved to be able to finish it before I went back to work, but I couldn't. So that's what's going on. I have 2 hours and 47 minutes left on my timer, which I will be completing. That is going to happen just not right now. We'll probably pick up after work, read for a lot of the night and just before work tomorrow morning. That's the plan. I could probably give a little bit of a synopsis. No, review of this right now though, because most of the things that are going to happen have already happened, and there's a few things that I'm hoping for. I think I did read a couple of reviews last night actually, and I think that some people deserve more and others I don't really care about, but it's been like a journey of life. That's what this story sort of feels like. It isn't a romance. It's a story of family, of power, of morals, right and wrong, what to do for your children. That's what this is about, which is, to be honest, the complete opposite of what I thought it was going to be, but that's what it is. And it is quite slow. I feel like I found myself consciously trying to just immerse myself in the story so that I didn't get bored, but you have to take into account that I have been reading at this point for 21 hours, so it's not going to be the easiest read if it's not super compelling and fast and thrilling. With all that said, I have enjoyed it. I think I'll probably settle on like a 3.5, which is kind of reflective of the ratings that I've seen online. So yeah, that's what's going on here. I'm gonna go to work now and try my best to watch the football tonight while I'm working, and then tomorrow I'm working again. I don't know why I said that. I'm just thinking about football. I have football on the mind. Good morning. This kind of fell off, and I can only apologise because work just distracts me and makes me tired. I did, in fact, yesterday finish Spellbound, and I think I'd already done quite a synopsis on it, so not going to dwell on that, but I think by the time I finished it, I had about an hour and 45 minutes left on the clock, and I spent that time reading last night. What did I read? BRB. I have started Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood because I need something easy, something thoughtless, and something that I can just inhale without thinking right now, because after reading for 24 hours, that's just kind of what you want to do. So yeah, this is where we're at. I have finished my readathon, and it did take me 3 days, which is not a surprise to me. But I hope you had fun. I definitely did. So just to summarise, in this video we read What Happens in Amsterdam, we read The Crimson Moth, we read Spellbound, and we started reading Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood, and that has made me feel much, much better about my reading status this month and how much I've managed to get read. I know it doesn't matter how many books you read in a month, but reading is also my favourite thing to do, and my favourite way to look after myself is my self-care, so I might even invest a little bit more time into that on Friday, because I could be busy. I could do lots of things that it needs doing, but I also just want to read. So maybe that's what I'll do. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week. I will see you guys in my next video, and thanks so much. Bye.